And yet, even in the midst of all this, something within him remembered that he was once an angel of God, living in the heaven of beauty and a place of peace and joy, living in a Garden of Eden which God had provided for him. And remembering, a determination arose within him to somehow or other find his way back to his lost paradise. I think we're all there. We're working. It's not lost anymore, but we're determined to find that truth about where we are, who we are. This determination grew in a great hope, and as hope was renewed, a light seemed to shine in the distance, and he seemed to have the courage to travel toward the light, and gradually a miracle took place. Ernest Holmes. As he traveled toward the light, he found that shadows were being cast behind him, until finally he was so completely entered into the light that no shadows were cast at all, and he realized that he had been asleep. I love that. He had been asleep, and that he had had a dream from which he was awakening. And that's how I feel most days, that we are asleep. Us humans are sleeping in this state of plainness and lack of excitement. We have fallen into a hypnotic state of just being and not being creative expressions. I don't know if anyone ever thinks that. And I'm trying to wake out of that hypnotic place. So that was the parable of the angels. It's in the Science of Mind textbook. You have the reference, so if you want to go home today and read that again and read it to your friends over the phone, you can do that. Okay? So we're casting off the shadow. That's the idea. That's what our work is about. Now, in lesson number 5, in our little booklet, and you can follow me here, so that's why I gave you the book, so you can look a little bit about it and then read the story with me. So what page is lesson number 5? Page 36. We're going to learn a little bit about heart clouds. And on a good day, on a great day, your heart clouds are light clouds. This is for kids, remember? Your heart clouds are light and fluffy and puffy. And they're filled with ideas or affirmations like, I am part of God. I am full of love and light. I have great friends. I have great ideas. I am good at lots of things, and I love thinking God thoughts. So if I were to give you a blank heart cloud diagram in the morning, you could wake up and you could find all of those really positive, light, fluffy heart clouds. This is the gratitude list, right? I am loved. I am prospering. Everything in my life is beautiful. I love my friends. I love my family. I love my home. I love my car. I love my center, right? I love the flow of income into my life. These are the light, puffy heart clouds. So kids can get this. And then what's the opposite of the light, dark clouds? I don't have a slide for this because I couldn't bear to put it up. Dark heart clouds. And what are some of those? I'm not good enough. I don't fit in. I'm too old. I'm too fat. I'm too broke. I'm too tired. I'm too mixed up. There's tons of those dark heart clouds. And kids seem to be able to pull those in so fast and fill their mind with all the negatives about them. And that's sad, right? I think it's sad. And so what we want to do is teach kids how to dissolve the dark heart clouds and create the light ones. You get the story? So let me take a few minutes. I'm right on time here. Okay, Snuggles had the worst day ever. Her best friend moved away. She forgot her homework, and people yelled at her. As she walked home, she thought about all the things that had happened, and she felt worse and worse. I'll never have a good friend again, she thought. I can't do anything right, she thought. I'll never feel good again, she thought. As Snuggles walked along, she didn't even notice that her friend Spot had come to walk by her side. What's wrong? Asked Spot. Snuggles, you look so sad. Snuggles told Spot about her day. As she talked about what happened, she felt a little better. She knew that it always feels better to share with someone who cares about you. Snuggles continued, I just can't seem to feel happy. Spot knew right away what happened. Snuggles' thoughts had made dark heart clouds around her heart. I'm so sorry all those things happened to you, Snuggles. Even though all those things happened, I know you won't feel bad forever. We just have to take care of the dark heart clouds you made. Now let me pause here. There's so much adult stuff in here. I don't know It takes a couple of times to do it. But this concept that she made them is so important. And that's hard for a kid. But we make them. No one imposes them. Okay, we can hear bad things and people can tell us we're not good enough. That can happen in movies and TVs and family and friends and school. But we make them. And it's so important for a kid to understand that they make them. They hear things, that's the first part of the equation, but whatever comes into their mind, into their realm, they're making up in their mind, right? And first it's in the conscious mind, I must not be good enough, or I'm ugly, and then it goes into the subconscious at 5 years old. Or 4, or 3, or 1. Okay, dark heart clouds. What are heart clouds, Snuggles asked. Heart clouds come from the thoughts we think, Snuggles. You know that when we think God's thoughts, you feel good. And you feel God. God thoughts make light, fluffy clouds around your heart, around our hearts. But there are other thoughts we think too. And these thoughts can make us feel sad or scary or unhappy. Before Snuggles could even ask where those thoughts came from, Spot said, thoughts that make us feel bad come from our imagination. Isn't that interesting? Our imagination. What's our imagination? Snuggle asked. Our imagination is one of the most powerful gifts God gave us. It helps create things. And most of the time we use our imagination to imagine wonderful, exciting things that haven't happened yet. Yes? Do we all have imaginations here? Is it active all day long? What do you want to go buy at the store? What are you going to have for lunch? Who are you going to visit today? Are you going to take a trip? It's your imagination, in a positive, light-filled way. But sometimes without realizing it, we use our imagination to create things that aren't so wonderful, Spot answered. So how does our imagination make us feel bad? Snuggles asked. Have you ever seen a scary movie or heard a scary story? Spot asked. Do you remember how you felt? Snuggles didn't have to think very long before she remembered a story that had always scared her. There's a movie I saw about a shark that ate people. This is pretty common in kids' knowledge base. They know that movie. I was so scared that I didn't even want to take a bath. Spot continued, it was your imagination that made you feel scared because you believed in something that wasn't real and it wasn't true. I never thought about it that way before, Snuggles said. Beliefs are powerful things. You see the story here? In Science of Mind Foundations class, we talk about a whole chapter on beliefs and how powerful they are. And now a kid gets to learn a little bit about beliefs and that they're very powerful, and they come from imagination. It's the whole Science of Mind curriculum here in one little book. Yes, they are, Snuggles, and those scary thoughts you imagine today make dark clouds around your heart. That's what made you so sad. When you have lots of dark heart clouds, it can be hard to hear your best friend forever speaking to you and guiding you to new, fun adventures. So how do I get rid of the dark heart clouds? Snuggles asked. I don't want them around my heart. Spot knew the answer. Start by looking at the thoughts in your heart clouds and ask yourself if they feel good. Remember that if it feels good, it's a heart thought. It's a God thought. So we say that a lot. Just sit down and think through, feel what you're feeling and think what you're feeling. If it feels good, if it feels on target, if it feels like it's a little bit divine, it's going in the right direction. And if it feels challenging, it feels awkward, it doesn't feel so great, it's probably not. Do we hear that? A lot of the time, it's the advice we give each other. Snuggles thought about all the things she had been thinking that made her sad. I will miss my friend, but I know that I will have friends again. And I forgot my homework, but I remember to bring it next time, tomorrow. And Snuggles exclaimed, I am already feeling better. See, Snuggles, the love energy in God thoughts dissolves all those dark heart clouds because those thoughts aren't really real. They aren't true. That makes room for good thoughts, God thoughts, and God thoughts make lots of light heart clouds that feel good. Snuggles thought about all the things about herself that were true, and she felt the love energy flowing through her heart. Thanks, Spot, she said. I feel so much better now that I have light heart clouds around my heart. I'm so happy to have a friend like you. Chapter number 5. Could you tell that story to a young person? It's kind of neat. Now, there's an idea in there called love energy, and the love energy is a theme that's also throughout the book. And the love energy is the essence of life. that God is and we are always together,